Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Doerr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and I got Linda G in the house. It's Mondays with Linda G and Mel.
Eh, eh. Today's the last day Tana's here, so I'm going to into Novato, and she's going to stay in Novato. And I'm just so tired of driving. I got my driver to take her into Oakland to drop her off at the airport.
Wow. Yeah, driving can get old, if you're doing a
Oh,
lot.
especially when you're my age. When I was young, I'd take off from the East Bay to Laguna Beach like this, no problemo.
Well, I don't mind driving, but it can, yeah. But, I don't mind driving in the city. It doesn't bother me. But, just the traffic getting into the city sometimes is like,
Right.
but
I was at the Utah event with Kim, and oh my God, there's a shuttle service, and I got this guy apparently marrying those guys who left later, got the same guy, and he bragged about being married 9 times, 9 divorces, 9 times, and looking for wife number 10.
oh my God. And he's bragging about it.
And he's bragging about it. I've never heard of someone bragging about being married 9 times.
I don't think I brag about it.
No.
He must have something going. What it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So are we ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All righty.
Well, what's his face is making what out of himself. He's
I
doing
know.
it for his people. He's already guilty of sin. He knows there's nothing he can do with this, but he's talking a witch hunt and all this, and the judge is telling his attorneys, he's not answering the questions.
I saw him sitting in court.
Yeah.
And his daughter was like,
Oh, his daughter's there too. I thought I saw her.
I think she was sitting next to him. Whoever it was like,
Well, there's a darker haired woman. That's the one that pooches her mouth.
oh, maybe it's not his daughter, but whoever it was.
His attorney, but I think I saw Ivanka.
But it was funny. Yeah, the judge told the lawyer, can you control your client? There was a poll, and I want to get your opinion on this. In some of the swing states that say Biden's numbers are going down, Trump's numbers are coming up.
Oh, please, you guys do not pay attention to that. It's the New York Times. They even had that guy on MSNBC that does the poll. I don't know why they run with that, because it's a total bogus lie. And let me tell you something. They were saying Obama was 11 points behind Mitt Romney.
Right. Well, it's early, and it depends on the poll. It was a small poll, and you can't go by that. I mean, the election is almost a year off, and a lot can happen. So, anyway, because people were saying it was about, the economy. Well, the economy's not bad.
Yeah. What's wrong with, if anything, he's done great with the economy.
When we're talking about foreign policy and this and that, I'm like, what? If Trump were to get elected, which I don't think he will, I don't see that. Oh my God, Ukraine, they would get no support from Russia. NATO would crumble, and it wouldn't be good.
We would lose our democracy if Trump was in there.
Totally. And I'm not getting my packing. Packing papers ready just yet.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
Anyway, okay. So, all right, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Jai Land said, how long will the war in Gaza last?
Oh, Jesus. That's the hard part with any psychic, is how long.
I don't think it's going to last as long as Ukraine. I think, I keep saying, my guys keep showing me, and I think everybody knows it as well, that Putin is behind this with Iran. And they figured if they could have Hamas, this attack was orchestrated.
Yes.
And they felt that if they could have Hamas attack Gaza, okay,
yeah,
then it would take everybody's eye off of Ukraine and destabilize the Middle East and make it look bad for Biden. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. But
Well,
it
what's
worked.
what's going bad for Biden is that this Netanyahu is not listening to him about give it just some breaks. Somebody wrote me and said, maybe you don't understand what's going on. The Palestinian people are being forced by Hamas to be the pawns over where they're staying. You know, they deliberately put women and children to cover themselves, which is makes total sense to me. But
Right.
what I told her was, so then what? So
Right.
you bomb women and children to get to Hamas? There's got to be a different way.
Right. Well, I think Netanyahu, I mean, Hamas attacked Israel. I get that. And so he's, counterattacking. But I think with Netanyahu, he's, is kind of, Putin's not behind Netanyahu, but the bottom line is that, this slash and destroy, bomb and destroy doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so Netanyahu is kind of wagging the dog as well.
Well, apparently there was something on the news earlier today. Some guy that used to work for Obama said he's always been that way. He never takes the advice of the United States.
Yeah, Netanyahu, like I said, is like wag the dog. Now he's got a reason. What happens now is it takes the heat off him, so he thinks, because he's a crook. And he knew he was in criminal trouble. And so now he's thinking he's got this war going on, but that's going to blow up in his face too. I still see Netanyahu gone, and
I see him taken out.
if he doesn't start listening and taking advice from the United States and other people, he's gonna kind of stand alone.
Yes, exactly.
The flip side of that is Putin and Iran want to start this instability in the Middle East. So
yeah,
but it won't work.
exactly.
I don't see that war expanding, thank God.
Thank God.
At some point, my guides tell me there'll be two separate states, Israel and Palestine. So
Yes.
and having a peaceful coexistence. That's what I foresee.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think the war is going to drag on for a year, even though Putin and Iran would like for it to, because they want Trump to get put in office because they know that Trump is anti-NATO and pro-Putin.
Exactly.
But it's
Now
not.
everybody's saying Putin is on life support or he's dead or something.
I don't see that.
I did. I saw him near death.
I think his health is precarious, but I don't think that he's dead as of yet.
Yeah, because he's got all kinds of, stand-ins.
Exactly. Okay. Kathy Reagans wants to know, hello, Auntie Mel and lovely Linda. My question, how long will Mike Johnson be Speaker of the House? And will
Oh,
Hakeem
Jesus. He's got some sort of background. I have no idea what that's about.
Well, there's stuff coming out about him big time.
What are you feeling, my friend?
Well, I mean, for entertainment purposes only, but for somebody who is so homophobic, I see some stuff coming out about that. And well, he's going to say it's not true, of course, but there's some dirt coming out for sure.
Well, I'd like to know why he has no bank accounts.
That I didn't know.
No bank accounts.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't, that just hit me like a ton. Whoa, I didn't know that.
And they're wondering about that. Apparently he tried to start up some Christian group and he failed, lost a lot of money on that. He might have money, but it's under a different name or something with his wife.
I see it under a different name.
Okay.
So this way they can't come after him. If you put it in someone else's name, it shows you, it looks like you have nothing.
An LLC or something.
Correct. But I mean, I see Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House, but
ultimately,
but it's not going to be like after the election, maybe.
Yeah. Well, for sure after the election. Because
with what's going on in the House right now, even with Republicans, even the moderate ones voted for this guy. Well, anything looked better than than the goof that they wanted, right? Or who was the one that was running that he tried 3 or 4 times and they got rid of him? Jordan, or was it? Uh,
Jordan,
yeah,
I always saw he wouldn't get in.
yeah. Anything was better than that.
How
But
many times did McCarthy try?
oh yeah, right. But
I gotta show you something too.
I see. But Hakeem would never get it because he wouldn't get a majority with the Republicans.
Well, the thing is, those people could kiss their life away if they were to vote. I'm sure some of them think, but Hakeem would be better than what they have. But if they were to go vote in favor of him, it would be the end for them.
Political suicide. But I do
McCarthy in 6 months. I'm Dancing with the Stars.
That's hysterical. I do at some point see an end with this tribalism going on, and at some point,
it's just terrible, and it's kind of, it's obvious by his testimony in the in this courthouse today. It's obvious that he don't give a hoot. He's just going on about a witch hunt, and the attorneys present him as former president and future president. And it doesn't help with these kind of numbers coming out saying that he's going to win, because he's basing a lot of it on this, and this is a bunch of bull crap. So he thinks he's king for a day, and he's carrying on.
But if he had any kind of decorum and any kind of respect, which he's never had, and you can't expect him to have that, he would behave himself in court, because the court is the symbol of our democracy.
Exactly.
Not about Republican or Democrat. It's a court of law. And if his
he doesn't care about law.
His lawyers, he doesn't care about anything. But if his lawyers had any kind of couth, they'd be saying the same thing. Trump is the one who's making this a political rally, and the judge told the lawyers this is not a political rally.
Right? But he will fight this, even though they come to a conclusion. He'll take it all the way to Supreme Court. But I don't see the Supreme Court voting in his favor.
He's going to lose. He's absolutely going to lose. And I see in New York what comes out as a result of the civil trial. I see it being handed over to the state for criminal prosecution.
Well, I see the IRS grabbing him.
Well, then that's federal too.
That's one of the reasons Trump told that new speaker, get rid of the IRS, because he knows they're coming after him.
Oh, they are going to come after him. So it's going to be, the state of New York in the civil case referring it over to criminal prosecution for the state, but also federal, because it's showing kind of like bank fraud and tax, and that's federal. So more charges coming.
More charges, more charges, more charges.
And if he's running for president, they say you can't indict a sitting president. Well, guess what? He's not president. So I see more indictments against him.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's what I see. Okay. All right. Kathy Reagan's again. Hi, Kathy. Hello, Auntie Mel and Linda. My question is about the release of Navalny. Will he be released from prison in the closing of the war in Ukraine?
When the closing of Putin.
Correct. That's what I think.
When Putin's gone, he'll be let out.
I still think he's alive and well, Navalny. And I'm sure that, being in prison, some of those prison guards and stuff like that, I think, behind the scenes, there's a lot of people in Russia that support Navalny.
That's what I'm feeling too. It's just like with Trump. A lot of people were afraid of him, but you couldn't say anything.
Right. But a lot of the Russian people I've spoken to here in Chicago, they have relatives still in Russia, and most of them can't stand Putin. So
good.
And Belarus too. I see people in Belarus standing up and protesting in the streets about Lukashenko, and they're not going to be afraid of getting arrested. And I don't know if it's going to be a civil war, but I see a lot of civil unrest in Belarus and in Russia coming too. So they can't. Putin can't have a war on all fronts, but what he wants to do is get allies in the Middle East. In case he wants to do stuff in the Middle East, he can have them on his side and use their soldiers as well. That's right. What he's up to.
Right.
All right. Peanut says, hi, Mel and Linda. Recently in Canada, there was an investigative report on the singer Buffy St. Marie. She is an indigenous singer who has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It was reported that she lied about her heritage.
What?
Yep, that's what it says. It's reported that she lied about her heritage.
She used to wear that native earrings and
Yeah. It says, is this story accurate or not? Thanks from Canada. Hi, Canada.
Hail Britannia. Okay, is it a lie? Well, I think she thought, let me tell you something. Like even in Oklahoma, hold on, I just dropped something. Even in Oklahoma, a lot of people think they got a little bit of native in them.
Right.
Remember Elizabeth Warren?
Right.
She thought she did, rumor was, so she ran with it.
Right.
And then when they did the real background check, there was nothing there. Is Buffy Saint what?
Buffy St. Marie. She's an indigenous singer who has been around for a long time.
A long time.
It's been reported that she lied about her heritage. Is this story accurate or not?
It's accurate.
That I picked up it was
She
accurate.
was shocked by this.
Yeah.
But she didn't do this to try to lie to people. Look at, she's really upset by this.
I think
She was
right.
lied to.
I think you're right. I think sometimes people probably think that they might have some native and in their ancestry, and when it comes to find out they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's probably what it was. I don't think she did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But I do think the story is accurate. That's what I pick up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I feel. Okay.
I don't remember what she sang. Was she more folksy?
I don't know, actually, but
Like Joan Baez?
I love Joan Baez. Okay. Hi, y'all from Texas. Will 45 and our junior and Eric be charged for criminal enterprise? Well, that's Rose Blue.
Yeah. Can I say something really quick?
Absolutely.
Look at, she looks native.
I can't see it. Yes, she does, actually.
Apparently she said she had indigenous roots in Canada. But they're saying she misrepresented her indigenous roots, and it's rattled the First Nations communities in Canada. They released a documentary calling into question the narrative and her claims to have indigenous roots. It's left communities in disbelief.
I feel like the story is accurate.
So I'll check it out more.
I feel like
okay. What was your question? Sorry.
Sorry. Hi, you all from Texas. This is Rose Blue. Will 45 and or junior and Eric be charged for criminal enterprise? Well, here again, my guides show me that in New York, it's going to be referred over for criminal prosecution.
Same thing.
Same thing in the state of New York, but also going to the feds because of bank fraud and stuff like that. And so,
right. So
I say yes.
Okay.
I think 45 will.
I see other things outside of that, but yeah, they're going down. Let me tell you, this losing of his properties is really going to hurt him.
Right.
The losing and not being president again is just really going to mess him up.
Well, if they can prove that he instructed them to falsely inflate those properties so he could get loans and stuff like that, and they did it, then that could be enough.
You know what's so funny is he's acting like, what's the big deal? All the loans got paid back.
It doesn't.
He just now told the judge, well, that's how the banks roll. They don't care. You add a little, yeah, they care.
That they could hold him under RICO for that if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know what a player like maybe Eric was, or they were involved, but not like, I think they were taking orders from Cheeto.
Right.
But back to what you were saying, well, I paid the loans back. Yeah, at a reduced interest rate. And furthermore, it would be like if you and I went out and robbed a bank and we said, but we paid the money back.
I know.
We still rob the bank. It's still illegal.
We
Paying
falsified information.
it just goes to show what a sociopath that Donald Trump really is. Because for him, everything is transactional. And if it doesn't have a transactional value, then to him, it's worthless.
Right,
It
right.
means nothing. And he's always going to gaslight, and it's always going to be slanted in his favor. And I haven't seen what's happening in court, just some of the stuff on TV, but I haven't heard what Trump said. But Trump opening his mouth in court, what he doesn't realize, and his lawyer should be telling him to shut up because he's incriminating himself.
Yes.
And, so if he takes it to appeal, the appeals courts are going to go, but you incriminated yourself. So, he needs to like put a lid on it. All right.
Hey, listen, I just got to read this to everybody.
Okay.
Mueller, she wrote, says that the polls were wildly wrong in 2012, 2016, 2018, 2020, and 2022. And we're seeing the exact same horse race bullpucky now. When will folks realize it's a business? These polling companies make millions and the media cleans up on scaring you with the results.
Right.
Amen. Thank you, Jackie. My girlfriend Jackie sent that to me.
Hi, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie.
She's my wingman. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good.
Hey, listen, tomorrow's a bunch of voting in Ohio, and I don't know, that's going to pass about being able to access abortions. The Republicans have done everything they could to try to screw it up, and they're still going to win, hands down.
That's the thing. If like when the Republicans lose, they don't accept being losers. They keep trying to bend and change the laws and how you vote and this and that based on what the Republicans want, and it's not working. It's almost like, remember in California Proposition 8, there was the whole gay marriage thing, and the way they worded it, like you thought you were voting for gay marriage, but really you weren't. Well, that's what they're doing in Ohio for the whole abortion thing.
And let me tell you, my friend, this is the creme de la creme. And Sterling says it too. And back when they said no between gay rights and also between women's rights, back when that Supreme Court turned around and did that, I said, ooh, they've just handed us the presidency. They've awakened the sleeping giant.
That's right. And you know what? The media, but the media kind of exposed the thing in Ohio that's going on now with this vote for abortion, that the way it's worded is very confusing. So the media was saying, if you really want to have abortion in Ohio, here's how you do it, not what they're putting on the ballot, because they say it's very confusing. But the Republicans aren't going to win on that one, and then they'll come up with something else to vote on and something else.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, here's the deal, and you guys, will know if I'm wrong. But I feel they lose so badly, they have to go back to the drawing board. We're going to have a new Republican Party because they're going to be done with the bull. No more.
As we say here in Chicago, they're going to get roasted.
Can you put me on pause 1 second?
Yep. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Technical difficulty.
Technical difficulties.
Okay. This is a good one. Elaine DeLucia says, hi, Mel and Linda. Will Stefanich get in trouble with Judge Enderon for talking stuff about his clerk while she was at a rally or something with the Orange Menace? Will the judge expand the gag order? Light and love. And she says, how come they're getting away with this? Well, my guys are—
Wait a second. Stefano, who's that?
Stefanich. I think she's one of the lawyers or something.
And she was at a Trump rally?
It says, will Stefanich get in trouble with Judge Enderon for talking stuff about his clerk while she was at a rally or something with the Orange Menace?
Yeah, remember he turned around and said the attorneys can't have to shut up, and they're appealing it, by the way.
Well, they're going to lose the appeal.
But also, This is about ready to be over.
Right.
I wouldn't doubt if even by, before Thanksgiving, this is all done and dusted.
I think it'll be done by Christmas, but here's the deal. If they keep opening their mouths, then the judge.
Well, their last person to testify is Ivanka, and she's testifying on Wednesday.
Well, but the thing is, if Stefanich and Trump, if they keep opening their mouths, yes, the judge will expand the gag order. That's what she wants to know. Elaine, the answer is yes. And, Elaine says, how come Trump and they get away with it? Well, they haven't because they've been fined. But I'm going to tell you something. That judge said to Trump's lawyers, if you can't control him, I will. And
Yeah.
the judge Enderon is not going to put up with it if Trump doesn't
But
stop.
Trump wants to go to jail. He wants to go to jail.
Of course, and the judge knows that. But I'm sure the judge has some other things up his sleeve to get Trump to at least to
Well,
some
when
semblance.
Trump came out for lunch, he looked at the press group there and he went, so he wasn't going to be talking.
Right. In other words, they won't let me talk.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't
And
have.
also the judge that's working on Jack Smith's event in Washington has already gone faster on getting the jury going. So she told him, you don't shut up, I'll make this baby move so fast you won't know what hit you.
Well, she's like 10 steps ahead of them.
Now, can I ask you, I don't know if this question is in here. What do you pick on Eileen, that judge in Florida? I think she's going to get kicked off the case.
You mean loose cannon? I call her loose cannon.
Yeah.
I do too. Everything.
She's already getting outrageous. No more than 25 pages. Will I accept? What?
Anything she's doing is like, if they took this to the appeals court, to the Supreme Court, they would say that the stuff that she's ruled on is absolutely not constitutional.
Well, he's going to petition. I can see it as clear as day. I see the paperwork. He might already be drawing it up.
And that it's overreach. And I see her at some point taken off the bench. I don't know if it's misconduct.
And I even feel, because her cards were so bad the other day, I need to talk to Andre about her chart. But I even see she might lose her ability to be a judge because it's so egregious.
Oh, I'm telling you, she's going to be taken off the bench.
Mm-hmm. You in trouble, girl.
I don't know if it's misconduct or what they'll use.
Your guides try to help you, but you's in trouble, girl.
Well, she's not an angel, that's for sure. But yes, these judges will expand the gag orders if it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You're right. I think Trump wants to go to jail, but there's other stuff they can do, trust me. And they will.
Yep.
All right. Actually, if Trump went to jail under house arrest and every time he'd open his mouth and the judge would say, I'm holding you in contempt again, he'd shut up.
Yeah.
All right. All right, we talked about Putin. Let's see. Desecchio.
That's a good thought, Mel.
What's that?
He probably could put him under house arrest. That it's so severe he can't go do his rallies. He'll say, but, oh, well, you should have listened.
That's exactly what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that for a long time, actually. Okay. This is for Linda G. This is Desecchio. Okay, in your 2023 predictions video at 21 minutes and 39 seconds, you said Israel was going to do something really bad and pretend it was an accident. Has this happened or is it still about to happen? I don't see that it's happened yet.
It might have happened because there was one particular bomb that really hurt a lot of people. And I think they said it was an accident. Is it going to happen yet?
I still see something as
I don't know if exactly what I said out my mouth at that time was the fact that Israel was going to, which I think is related to Netanyahu. Israel was really going to show their rear worse than ever. And I think it's that part where they say, oh, well, we're still going to bomb women and children and too bad. I think that's unbecoming, even though they went through a horrible I mean, what the Hamas did, thanks to their little booklet they had on them from Putin of how you murder and destroy a nation.
We have to protect our children of the world. We must.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're Jewish or Israeli. I don't care if they're Palestinian or Muslim. I don't care if they're Hindu. I don't care if they're Ukrainian. I don't care if they're Russian. We must, or African or whatever, we must protect our children.
Our children, and to live peacefully. Can you hear that?
I couldn't hear it.
Loud. The gardener's here. By the way, this one's a cute one. Hold on while I pose by the computer.
Did you open the door?
No, I closed it, remember, because it's really loud. But he's a cutie patootie.
Come on in.
Excuse me.
Could you seed my garden? Fertilize it too.
I got a fake lawn.
We sound like Blanche on the Golden Girls. Wait,
Yeah.
you have a fake lawn and you got a gardener?
God, I love Blanche. She was so funny.
Oh, she was a riot.
God, I really love her. She did the best celebrity ghost story. Oh my God, she had the best. And Joan Rivers had a real good ghost story too. My favorite one, what was the guy that played Bubba on Forrest Gump? He was with his, he went to go see his mom, and his mom kept shoving him off. Like, no, talk to me later, talk to me later. He said, what's going on? And he even said, Mom, is somebody bugging you? Is there somebody in the house telling you not to let me in? She said, no. And then finally she let him in, and he said, what was going on, Mom? She said, your good friend when you were children was here, and he was nothing but trouble. And I seen the mask of death on him, and I feared you getting involved with him and just, innocently getting caught up in something. Because you're very generous. If he asked to borrow your car or something, you would have done it. She said, but son, I have to tell you, he was killed the other day. He was shot. And he was like, whoa, whoa. So he goes home to his apartment. His girlfriend is there. And he goes to tell her, I lost my childhood friend. I got to tell you the story because my mom's wouldn't let me inside the house. She was scared that this friend would get me involved. She knew he was going to get killed. The phone rings. The girlfriend picks it up and she can't figure out what it is, but he was yelling her boyfriend's name. I can't remember his first name. And she hands it to him, and it's the friend, the dead friend. Help me, they're coming to get me. They're coming to get me. Help me, please. And he's screaming bloody murder. And he said you could hear growling in the background. He's like, dude, tell me where you are. I'll come get you. Where are you? You got to help me, man. Please, dear God, help me. Ooh. And then the phone got disconnected. And so they called the operator, and the operator didn't even see the phone call in the records.
Wow. I got cold chills on that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was a good one.
Cold chills on top of cold chills. Okay. Ellen Moore says, hello, beauties of love and light. Thank you. Well, with the cute gardener. Will the conservative government in Canada, federal and provincial, get a majority stronghold in our beautiful diversified country? The line conservatives are awful here. Well, they're awful here too.
Yeah, where's this person located again?
Canada.
Canada's going through some stuff too.
Well, I've been saying the Canadians, if they're not careful, what happened in this country could very easily happen there.
Yeah.
And it's starting this whole xenophobic, ultra-conservative, ultra-right movement all over. And I see it being quelched. But Canada, get out and vote. Get out and vote.
Hey, look, you see how close it came with the French.
That's right. That's right. I think, they might be able to take over some provinces, but I don't think they're going to gain a huge stronghold. No, provided my guides say that Canadians get out and vote.
Yes.
But what I'm seeing is a lot of those ultra conservative politicians in Canada, there's some scandals coming out about, maybe 4 or 5 of them. And so my guides are telling me that the truth will come to light in Canada about some of those ultra right politicians as well, the same as it has here.
Exactly.
So, can very easily happen. They'll gain a foothold in some provinces, but the Canadians, my feeling is, will speak up and not let it get as bad as it has here.
Right. Right.
All right. This is a good one. Joanne Sanchez said, is Judge Cannon, it should be Judge Cannot, messing with the scheduling of the documents case? It seems like she's pushing it out further. In other words,
she's going to get caught with her hand in a cookie jar.
I
I'm
think
telling you, Trump offered her. This is what I caught. I may be totally wrong. I saw him thinking about he's going to talk Roberts into stepping down
and putting her on the Supreme
and
Court.
putting her as the chief judge.
At
least that's what he's telling her, because she's thinking I'm going to be the chief judge.
Or she'll be on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But she is pushing the date out further with the documents case, because she's thinking, I know what she's thinking, for entertainment purposes only. My intuition tells me she's thinking that if she could push it out further and further, the election happens and he gets elected, then it'll be done.
Yeah, then she doesn't have to bother with it anymore.
Correct.
But he's not going to get elected, so there you go.
And the evidence is going to be compelling in that case. So she would, if she might, I don't know what she'll do, but she's not going to give him that big of a sentence, if any at all. But Jack Smith has some aces up his sleeve too, especially in DC with Judge Chutkan.
Right.
So Cannon's going to be off.
I love it.
She's going to be held for official misconduct, I'm telling you.
I saw in her cards, 10 of Swords, a death card, all kind, which means her career will be crumbling.
And if they can prove there was collusion with the judge, they might be able to overturn her rulings and have another trial and have a mistrial.
Right, but she's not going through with the whole trial.
No.
So there's no mistrial, because she never even finished, because Jack is going to get her out.
Oh, okay. This is a good one. Will the actors strike end soon? I hear yes. Very soon.
Yes. In fact, Sterling mentioned that too.
I think within a
Should
month.
be by the end of this month, all done. I kept feeling anytime. So yeah.
Okay. DRC 1989 says Baja in Southern California experienced a hurricane tropical storm. Wow.
Yes.
Acapulco was destroyed by a hurricane, etc. Are we to expect more strong Pacific weather events in California this and next year? Absolutely, yes.
Yes. Isn't it interesting? Most of the hits have been on near Mexico. I was feeling Mexico, but I thought it was coming from the between Mexico and Florida.
From the Gulf.
The Gulf, but yeah.
I see more storms like that hitting. I didn't know Acapulco was destroyed. I did not.
It was destroyed, and it's interesting. They talked about it on the Weather Channel, but they hardly talked about it on the news.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
It's leveled. But it was a tropical storm coming in. Everybody went to bed thinking, oh, okay, we shored things up. It's just a tropical storm. It turned into a 5 overnight.
They can, especially when they come up through the Gulf, because the Gulf is shallow.
It was so hot. The ocean was so hot.
And we're going to see more storms like that. Nature is saying we have to stop this runaway climate change. We've got to put the brakes on it, because we're going to see more violent storms like that all over. I mean, I can't remember when it was 65 in Chicago in November. It's just,
oh my God.
Okay. All right, we've already talked about this. Somebody talking about the polls. All right. Okay, Oh, this is a good one. Lisa Yeager says, will Senator Tuberville, Senator Goof, pay
Turkerville.
yeah, yeah, right. Rhymes with. Will he pay a price for blocking military promotions? Oh yeah, absolutely.
I see him being shunned.
Shunned and voted out of office.
His people love him and wherever he is, but we got to consider he's from Kentucky. Where's
No,
he from?
I don't know. I don't think he's from. Is he from? I don't
Well,
think
whatever state he's representing, a lot of people are coming out against him.
that's my point. And
They say he's not even making a lot of money. I think he thought this would be a windfall for him. He might have made $500,000, but that's actually not much.
that's not much. And you know, now that you said that, what I see happening is legislation being passed. There's going to be
But they can't do this anymore. One person can't hold them ransom.
or I see legislation being passed that's going to say that these senators and representatives can't make windfall profits from big corporations and constituents and things like that to get stuff passed or to hold things up. I see legislation preventing that in the future. You know, they come into office and they walk out, you know,
Rich.
wealthier, yeah, you know, with more money than God. And I see legislation that's going to kind of put guidelines, that will put guidelines on that. And they should. They absolutely should have legislation to prevent that because it keeps big businesses then from buying.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. I see that stopping.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Mary M. Key says, hi, Mel and Linda. I love seeing you two together. Well, thank you. We like being together.
Right.
My question is, will Trump be kept off of our Colorado ballot? If not, will he be defeated in 2024 for sure? I'm getting worried after listening to the polls out there. Here we go with the polls again. Don't listen to
Don't listen to the polls.
Well, what I'm seeing is I see Trump off the ballots in maybe even 3 states or 4. And that would certainly help the election.
I see one state where he should be, but I'm almost feeling the Supreme Court turning it over.
I still see him off the ballots in at least 2, possibly 3 states.
Okay, good.
And that would, you know, then
I like your thought.
Then Trump's going to say, oh, they did that because they didn't want me to be president.
Everything's politically motivated, according to him.
Okay.
Why can't we do it like they did in the 1800s? They just fired all of them for being insurrectionists.
Can't get rid of them, right?
A whole group of them.
Okay. M. Quattro Port says, hi, Mel. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Will there be an immigration reform soon? Thank you. I do see immigration reform. The answer is yes. And people are worried about, you know, some saying 5,000 immigrants coming toward our borders and stuff like that. I see tighter immigration control. I do.
Yeah. They're going to come up with a good game plan. I see Biden really getting a group of people in there that know what they're doing. But let me tell you something. I just got balloons flying and people happy. I feel that Biden in 25, 26 will definitely announce all DACA or citizens.
Good.
That should have passed a long time ago. I always saw it passing, and I'm very sorry, you guys. I thought it would pass way before this.
It will come through, you know, and I think the problem here is that people can come here. It's hard, you know, it's hard to get a visa, but once they get here, there's no tracking system to make sure that they don't overstay their visa.
Yeah, yeah. But the DACAs are children that were born here.
The DACAs were children that, no, they came here as children with their parents.
Right. They had no choice. Yeah. But they're good citizens. They pay taxes. A lot of them are in the military.
I know people that are hung up in DACA. It's like they're in limbo.
Yeah. And they kept asking me, Linda, and I'm sure they lost faith. But I saw it just now when you mentioned that. I saw Biden writing it through, like, let's get this done. You know, part of his reason for doing this again, because he's old and he doesn't need this anymore.
Right.
And he could retire very easily, but he wants to finish. He wants to finish what he started.
And he will.
Yeah.
Okay. Sheila Sanders says, I worry about Ukraine. Well, we all do. But Ukraine will not give up, and they're not going to lose. It's going to, Putin got himself into a Vietnam when he invaded Ukraine. Ukraine is not going to give up, and Ukraine is going to be fighting like a guerrilla warfare against Russia.
Yeah.
And you cannot win. You cannot win, and this is what we learned in Vietnam. You cannot win a conventional war when you're fighting people who are using guerrilla warfare. And that's what Ukraine is doing. They're using guerrilla warfare.
That's what the Vietnamese did too.
That's right. That's exactly right. Okay, Soulshine asks, this is a good one. Will there be a new strain of coronavirus that will not be mitigated by the vaccines we have available now and causes more deaths?
No.
No, I see different strains coming out. And unfortunately, some people will die from it, but not like what it was.
No. Yeah.
I think the strain out now is more mild. Like the strain I had was very mild.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you were sick for a while.
I was just tired, it was like I had no energy, but it wasn't like sick, like hospital sick. It was just like no energy kind of.
I got that right now, but I don't have COVID.
At least I had something to blame it on, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Paula Jean says, is Netanyahu in Putin's pocket and orchestrating the USA to look bad by not being able to do anything because the house is in Putin's pocket? Well, the house is in Putin's pocket, but I don't think Netanyahu is.
Right.
I think Netanyahu's out for Netanyahu.
Yeah, and he's not going to stand down.
They'll get rid of him.
It's really sad. He's not giving him humanitarian breaks or anything.
I know, that's terrible.
And Biden is begging, and one of the Congress people, she's really mad at Biden and blaming him, and did a commercial that we're watching you and the youth will not vote for you if you don't stop this assault on Palestine. And it's like, so what? Now you want Trump in there? You think it's that now?
So if you don't vote for Biden, you're going to get Trump in there. A lot of people, when Trump won, they didn't vote because it was a protest vote. And it was like, okay, but you've just put Trump in office.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and look what happened. So, how quickly people forget, right?
I just didn't like her.
I don't either. Okay. PJ Dachshund says, hi, Mel and Linda. Love your show. Thank you. Question from Canada. Alberta, Canada has a real pro-Putin politician running that province. Her name is Danielle Smith, and she is the premier who was voted in with less than 350 votes after the previous premier, who was similarly strange, decided he'd had enough. She's busy dismantling Canada's national pension plan, fighting with Trudeau over climate change action plans. She's a climate denier, and now juggling the medical system, which could easily topple it. She and her party is very nasty, and I fear the worst for Alberta citizens. Like you, I feel, hear, see things from my guides, and they are saying she's going to be leaving for Moscow before the next election with several others.
What?
So in other words, this person is just asking about, I guess, this politician in Alberta.
And she's leaving for Moscow?
No, this is, hold on. They say she's going to be leaving for Moscow before the next election with several others. Do you see that? No, I don't see her leaving for Moscow. No, not at all. Okay. But I do feel that, she might gain a little popularity, but ultimately I see her wings clipped. And so her party and what they're representing is...
Well, she's trying to touch their medical. Canadians are struggling as it is. They don't need that.
They don't want that. And
it's like those Republicans promised with Biden at his speech in Congress, they would not touch Social Security. And that's the first thing that new guy Johnson...
Correct.
Wants to touch.
Well, it's not going to happen. I mean, it'll never pass the Senate. No. They can try to get it through the House, but it won't go through the Senate.
But it's a killer. It's a killer. It's interesting. They don't understand by taking away women's rights. It's a no vote.
And
They
taking
don't
away,
understand touching Social Security is a no vote.
you're taking away Medicare and Social Security. It's all a no vote.
Yeah.
Um, I don't see her dismantling all of Canada. I see her wings clipped, Dachshund.
Okay, good, good.
Um, okay, Kimberly Yalston says, can you please read on Biden's health? The death card came up for him and I'm freaked out. Well, number one, she says, can we please read on Biden's health? The
Okay.
card came up for him and she's freaked out. Number one, the death card does not mean death. It
Yeah.
means change,
Unless you have the Knight of Swords next to it. Go ahead.
but it doesn't mean death. It could mean change. It could mean rebirth. It could mean him being reelected even. It doesn't mean death like that. So my feeling is his health is really good. I don't really see anything wrong with his health.
I see something untoward coming to the United States. It might be by that cray guy in Iran who's already threatened that everybody wants to punish the United States for what Hamas did to Israel. So he promises that the United States is going to feel pain. And I think there will be something. I don't know if it's with our ships out at sea or they're going to hit something. I can feel it. It's not good. It's a terrorist action.
Well,
Not as bad as 9/11, but close.
I think you're right on that, but I hope that we're wrong.
Yeah. And so I see Biden stepping up to the plate, handling it. And this could be why he catapults.
Which is just going to coalesce all together like what
And
happened.
also it makes us as a nation come together.
Correct. It'll cause us to coalesce just like after 9/11.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of you guys, when you're going to ask me something, please, somebody criticized because I read AI as AL. I know it's artificial intelligence, but it says, will it be helpful with CSPR? I do not know what CSPR means.
Right.
So if you're going to use letters, please spell them out because I don't know what it means. So I can't answer the question. I mean, it says, will AI ever integrate or be helpful with CSPR technology? And I don't know what CSPR stands for. So I apologize for my ignorance. All right. Okay. The same person asked, hi, Jorm. Will voter suppression and gerrymandering practice be brought under control in time for next year's elections? And if not next year, then when?
What's the question again?
Will voter suppression and gerrymandering be brought under control in time for next year's elections?
Next year it's going to be a little better. Yeah. Because there's a lot of judges saying, I told you to change this map, and they're fighting tooth and nail. They got to cheat. It's so weird. And they cheat openly.
But yeah, because there's no consequences for it.
Yeah.
But I do see gerrymandering being brought under control. Yes. Okay. We got time for one more.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. This is a good one. Ron Brock. Hi, Ron. It says, hi, Mel and Linda. Hope you two are feeling great and so happy you're over your health challenges, Mel. Well, I'm happy too, but thank you. We are so grateful for both of you and for what you all do for us. My question is, will Ukraine get the aid it needs from us through all of the insanity going on in the House? Thank you both.
Yes, and I see Biden getting something from here and here. They made an agreement with Biden already, and they're reneging on it. But I see Biden being able to stretch some money here and there to help it.
That's what I see behind the scenes and stuff like that. And once the House changes, Ukraine is still going to get aid that it needs.
Yes.
So anyway, all right.
You said that was the last question.
It is the last one. Sorry. We only had two more to go anyway.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so next week your show, Linda, right?
Next week my show. I'm heading into Nevada to wish Tana a farewell.
Hi, Tana.
And I got to sit down and just a few more chapters in my book. Try to get that baby published by the end of December.
And we're planning an event here in Chicago. So yay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll talk to you tomorrow about that.
You got it. All right. Stay well.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.